out. Citizens of the country came out there and spoke with their feet on that occasion. The leaders spoke at the end of the rally. I thought it was hugely successful.
Now, the government has described the march as a bust. They're saying that all 5 groups, and I guess they're looking at the unions, the PNM, the ILP, Rawi, Florence, Mirage, and all the other groups that came out, could not even bring 5,000 people together at a time when everyone says the government is at an all-time low.
Who said that? The Prime Minister?
Yeah, at the rally.
Yes. Maybe if you ask her that 4 times now, she may not remember saying it. I'll tell you something. She's as incredulous as you can have it. I don't know why she bothers to speak. She spoke about Dr. Rowley's victory in our internal polls in a most scathing and critical manner when the facts were there that she got 13,000, he got 18,000, her voter base was bigger than ours. I mean, I don't take her seriously. Quite sadly, I don't.
Were you satisfied with the numbers? And let's juxtapose that with Section 34, because the Section 34 march was one of the largest marches, and I've been in the media for about 9 years now, that I have ever seen in this country.
Well, some persons say that what we had on Friday was even bigger than that. I am not sure. I'm not an expert on assessing crowds. What I do know is that as far as my eyes could see along Frederick Street from the top of, well, you know, I just know it was a massive one, and those who estimated the crowd said it was about 25,000. I can't be sure. What I do know is that I saw people from all walks of life, citizens who I never expected to see there, coming out and demonstrating their rejection of the behavior of this government in resounding terms.
Government as in the most unflattering terms this morning. If they're so bad, why do you think the poll came out yesterday in the Express, which put her ratings at an all-time high? Her approval rating is 48%. This in light of all of the scandal, all of the missteps, and the public beating that this government gets every single day on various programs.
Roughly 2,000 years ago, when Pontius Pilate asked the raging crowd, who do you want to enjoy a pardon? Shockingly, but truthfully, the crowd shouted, we want Barabbas.
You're comparing the Prime Minister to Barabbas, and who would be Jesus in this analogy?
No, you asked me about popularity and a poll, and I told you that is the reaction of people. Dole Chedi had friends. That guy down in South America there, Pablo Escobar, he had friends. Human beings are known to have been misled. Hitler mobilized an entire nation to attack other nations and to dominate Europe and possibly the world.
So you think the people are being fooled, or they don't know best?
I think they're being fooled. This government is spending a lot of money, and they have a deliberate part of their project to fool the people of this country with lies, and they believe they could use lies on truth, like with those placards, and they could use money, public monies, of which they seem to be in great, they have in great abundance, and they seem to be using that in order to pave over, in order to sugarcoat Congo pepper. They're trying to paper over just a bad term. They have done badly. They have failed. They have embarrassed us. They have destroyed our institutions.
But our ratings are still very high.
And they are prepared to use money and these little petty tricks in order to make themselves look good. But you know what Mustafa Ibrahim said a few years ago at the opening of the parliament? He said, among other things, as head of Asher, even if you smear dead pig with honey, that would not make it sweet.
Her ratings are still really high, and do you think that this now comes down to a personality clash between Dr. Rowley and the Prime Minister? And if it is that people are being fooled, what do you think will happen in 2015, if according to you that's what happens?
We are confident, based on what we saw Friday, based on what we saw in the clause 34, which is yet unanswered activity, based on the soundings we are having, even if I take an element of that poll, Dr. Rowley is the leader of the opposition. He's the leader of the PNM. And they are level pegging. I think she is supposed to be 48, he is 47 or something like that.
Well, they're looking at favorability, so people seem to favor him.
So that the population, and the more they listen to the Prime Minister and Minister Roberts and that Attorney General, and with his friend Mr. Volney last week in the Attorney General's office, the more they look at Prison Gate, Email Gate, and all of these things, we are confident that at the end of the day, notwithstanding some shouting Barabbas, the truth will prevail, and the PNM will relieve this country from the embarrassment and the burden that it is now set with.
Are you concerned about this poll at all? And we're looking at the fact that there's, because you just cited Prison Gate, Email Gate, Section 34, Rashmi Ramnarayan, the SIA, Life Sport. I can go on and on and on. In light of all that is in the public domain, her polls put out 48% of the leader that has been in power for 4 years.
We are in politics and we have to live with polls, but we have seen polls already. I mean, they had polls in Tobago telling us that they would win, and the PNM trounced them 12-0. My sister Penny and they had 2 polls in the run-up to our internal elections recently. You look at that and you see what the result was. Dr. Rawi won 15.34 to 1. Resounding beating. So while we have to live with polls, the best poll result you could get is that of an election. Our internal elections gave us the best result.
And is that
the Tobago elections gave us the best result. The local elections gave us the best result. And I'll tell you this, Hema, next year, because she says, the green man won. You know, she sees green men. The green man won the whole enterprise. And she said, you wouldn't get any election, Dr. Rawi, until 2015. In 2015, Hema, you will see the best poll result. I'm confident because good will overcome evil and light over darkness every time.
Mr. Hinds, his closing comments becoming very prophetic this morning and even quoting elements of the Bible for us.
And of course, the Gita and the Quran.
We'll take a very short break. Trinidad is making politics always brings out the most interesting parts of the discussion. We take a very short break. When we come back, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they're holding an event. We're going to tell you about tax evasion. Stay with us.
You know, yesterday Faris was on your show and he calls me a fat stooge. He's like he's losing it.
No, come on.
And you shut him down.
I just said it. You're not there to defend. And similarly, I will not allow you to attack Senator Rawi
But I never do. I never get into ad hominem attacks. That's what he does. He is captain ad hominem. Let me tell you something. My cell phone lit up like a Christmas tree. WhatsApp, text, Facebook, people saying, Faris calling up your name again on Hema show. You know,
but you identified as one of the key persons in the UNC's camp.
I'm not in the UNC's camp. I defend this government. I defend Kamla Persad Bissessar's government. I defend the People's Partnership because I want to. I think they're doing fantastic work. I give them a lot of licks early in their career. I give them a lot. I wrote 1 million words. And I gave them a lot of licks because predominantly I was against some of the characters that were in the government that are no longer there. But before you go to the news, I want Faris, because I know he's watching, I want him to see this. I said, and I'm a man of my word.
You know, they say that imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah, you may say that, I want to tell you something, I accept that. But the last time I was on your show, right after Faris, I said the next time I come, I will have one of these. So I went yesterday in the mall to get this. And if you'll allow me, I bought this, it's $125. And I asked them, what is it? This is a pocket square.
It is a pocket square.
I said, what's a pocket square? No, but I asked the girl at Solomon's in Westmall, I asked her, nice place, real nice stuff. I asked her, what's a pocket square? She said, those serve no purpose, it's just flair. And at that moment, I understood Faris Al-Rawi's role.
Let's not take it personal. No, we're not going to do that here.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I understood now what this does. I understood it.
It's a fashion statement in the birth of the Metro Man, which many people in your party. But there are many people in your party that wear it, but we're not going to go down that level.
That's just a joke. Oh, well, you allow him to make his joke, you allow me to make mine. It's all in good taste. I mean, Trinidadians need to understand. I mean, I was telling you when we were off here, Faris and I almost related through marriage, and he's married into a family that I am related to. So it's not like we out waiting to see.
Well, is it that you're just being sensitive?
Not even a little bit. But how could you say that when he gets so much time to say so many things that I am not allowed to respond to? I'm not allowed to counteract them. You know, I just let most of it go. Faris stands up in the Senate and uses the word ad hominem, prior to and after him attacking people personally. That's what ad hominem means, attacking people personally.
But politics is an adversarial art.
And I accept that. But you can't be in the fighting, and then complaining if other people fighting. Faris is upset, Maxi Coffee upset, because while Keith Rowley was on his legs in New York, we got pictures that there were 10 people in the church.
Is that a true representation? Because also I saw someone commented that you don't know if this picture is real, you don't know if it's true, and even when I asked them,
we posted 27 pictures from 27 views. We posted pictures of Diane Baldio, Cheri Singh, and Marlene McDonald, and they were all of them there. Hema, it bust. The PNM supposed to...
I'm sure that was not the only meeting that he had.
No, they showed one in a very tiny restaurant that was packed. But again, that's about 12 people, and I'm saying to you, the PNM's problem is not the People's Partnership, you know. The PNM's problem is the popularity of their own leader, and it's damaging the party. And you have to accept this. Their last big anti-government march, were it not for OWTU workers, it bust. And then they had a march where they went to join the JTUM Labor Day March, and there was revolt among the ranks, and unions were pulling out. Now, inside the OWTU, Ansel Roger is being challenged. And his latest, whatever, that was supposed to be at King George V Park to go to the Prime Minister's office, how much people went? 10? The PNM needs to deal with that.
But you know, this use of the term propaganda, Philip, and I have to ask you, personal attacks, and they to say that persons in the government camp are guilty of personal attacks and vicious attacks.
This is a government that is under constant scrutiny, under constant attack. Every single member of this government is afraid now of what's going to come out. People don't even need evidence anymore. They could just come out and say stuff and let it go. You know, it's now in the public domain. You could go on a campaign and hack emails and read stuff. What Camille Robinson Regis read was
I know that matters with your lawyers, right?
Well, yes, but half of the letter that she read was a communication with Rodney Charles and the UNC, and the other half was a communication between myself and Ral Munilal.
So maybe Rudy Munilal gave it to her. What's to say that didn't happen?
So you're saying that he gave her Rodney Charles' own too? I don't know the source of the information, but then I read Ken Ali in the interview with Asha Javi trying to understand how they have that information too.
Okay, so we're going to go straight to the 7 o'clock news, and when we come back, we will continue this discussion. Welcome back to Nantavega. I'm Hema Ramkissoon, and we are continuing our conversation. I want to ask a question. Philip, this is all about the UNC propaganda, the propaganda machine. Is it are you in charge of a UNC propaganda machine?
Why would I be in charge of a UNC propaganda machine?
So why are they always identifying you as a defender of the government?
Because
why have you always been identified?
No, you know,
but not only by the PRO, by several other persons.
No, but you see, I want to tell you something. The moment the talk started to rumble that I might be considering or considered as a challenger for Diego Martin West, all of a sudden my name became sweet in PNM's mouth. From Camille Robinson Regis, Keith Rowley, Ashton Ford, Faris Rawi, all of a sudden.
But you put yourself in the public domain.
A friend of mine found me on Facebook. I knew her about 100 years ago. And I asked her, how you find me? She said, you're not hard to find. Your name in everybody's mouth on Facebook. Why is Faris doing that? Faris is the PRO.
But this is not...
He is the PRO.
Yeah, but as the PRO, he also must highlight, and this is not about personalities, but if he is sitting in his capacity as a PRO, he must highlight what he thinks are questionable.
But he is the actual elected head of the PNM propaganda machine. But if somebody responds and defends the government, it's propaganda.
You think what you all are doing is defending defending the government?
We continue to ask the PNM to debate on issues. We ask them to stop the ad hominem attacks. We ask them to stop the...
But they're saying that you all are guilty of these attacks.
But why doesn't Faris prove this?
Let's stop personalizing it.
No, but why doesn't he or they come with evidence and say, look what we're talking about? Because us providing information to the public of Trinidad and Tobago right after the PNM denigrated the Prime Minister for going to Brazil. Keith Rowley jumps on a plane to go to New York and your thing bus. But all the PNM want to do is bad talk the Prime Minister. She stormed the World Cup. She gave Brazil bad luck. How her grandchild wearing a Spider-Man mask. I mean, I've read the nastiest things come out of the PNM camp. We can't even answer. How do you defend somebody attacking somebody's grandson, a little boy, for wearing a Spider-Man mask? Do you go down in the gutter with them? Because that's where it is.
Well, they're saying they didn't think it was appropriate protocol.
Protocol? So children are children. Read the Bible, suffer little children that come unto me. Jesus Christ didn't say, or any of the other religious leaders didn't say, dress your children appropriately. And the little child was well dressed. He had on a Spider-Man mask. Oh gosh.